Welcome back to Gamer Muscle Videos. As many of you know, last week RaceRoom Racing Experience was updated with a ginormous patch. The patch itself has caused some issues, and Sector 3 are currently with their ironing boards trying to smooth out all the creases. The whole studio's there ironing away. I'm pretty certain that their beer fridge is being completely plundered, but they have just done an update and things are progressing. So hopefully, fingers crossed, by the end of this week, it will all be fine and dandy. Which will be really good because the core improvements to the simulator are actually really nice. And as you can see on your screen right now, one of the improvements is this selection screen in the UI that lets you choose what car and the rules you want to race that car in, and then just get driving. This is just from clicking on single race. Previously, you had to go into menus and click through DTM and everything else. So it's a lot faster now if you've just got, say, 25 minutes to jump in your sim rig and escape your partner, or just to pretend that there's no important things to do in life. You can now just load this up and jump straight in. And it's a lot more streamlined. Now, the reason we really put this video together was to give the AI a little bit of a test. And to do the test, what I've done is I've set up a 5-minute qualifying 5-lap race. Now, some of you will go, oh, that's not going to test the AI for pitting. And indeed, you are correct. All I really wanted to see was what the AI are like now in the more sort of bunched together situations, and just the general character of the AI. I think later on I will do a longer race to see what the AI are like with pitting and all that business. I haven't tested that yet, so we can't comment on it yet. But as you can see now, we're just coming to the end of the qualifying session. We've got to lay down a good lap time because we're currently positioned in 8th. Now, the AI difficulty has been set on 100%. Now, there is an option to put adaptive AI on, but I've just gone for 100%. That seemed like a good value to go for. And, well, we're in 10th at the moment, so let's see how we do as we come to the NGK chicane. Launch the car through there. This DTM car has so much grip. It's quite fantastic. You can imagine taking one of these out to Asda whilst doing your shopping. Your shopping would be all over the back seat as you go around the roundabouts. But there we go, we finished the qualifying, and of course, because we're practically aliens, we qualified in first. Maybe we should have put the AI on harder. The options, as I say, are you've got adaptive AI, or you can manually put it up to 120%. Though from my past experience with RaceRoom, 100% generally worked out quite well. Revving the engine for the restart, here we go. I have to say, the graphics are actually really nice in RaceRoom. They've done a really good job with making the tracks feel quite full and quite lively, and just the colour palette as well, and the skyboxes, the actual cloud texture they put in the sky, all really nicely done in RaceRoom, considering they're using technology from the 1930s. They've rewritten their own shaders. It's based on the original G-Motor engine, but they've of course implemented all their own graphics engine features, shaders, lighting, and you know, totally overhauled it. It's quite nice what they've done with it. So we totally missed the start there. It was a terrible start. I was too busy having a sip of the cup of tea there, and we found ourselves in 3rd, which is actually quite good because it gives us a chance to really push against the AI here and see what they're like. And talk a bit about this DTM 2016 car. Really, it's pretty similar to the 2015 car. In terms of differences, though, I think it feels a little bit tighter. And my sort of impression of the tyres with the newer cars in RaceRoom as a whole, and also with the DTM cars, is what they seem to have tuned up more is they've got a tighter initial grip to them, which lets you get a lot of bite and turning control, and also gives you a really big sense of downforce and the car actually sticking to the road. But the point at where when you go over the limit seems a lot tighter, and when you go over it you do slide a little bit more. But at the same time, having said that, you can balance it on the limit quite easily. It's very controllable when on that margin. So it's like you've got more controllability on the limit, but if you do go past it too far, then you're punished a bit more. It's really hard to concisely and accurately describe car movements. You'll also notice there, I'm not sure how clearly it comes from the video, but the force feedback is really nice and crisp as well. And you do get a really good feel for the loading of the car, the actual the rear of the car and how to correct that. But you also get really nice sort of bumps and jolts coming through the road. You can set up the force feedback to your taste, and I've got it set up a little bit over the top in RaceRoom, but I find it really immersive like that. I know it's a little bit cheesy how I've set it up, but it's nice having the jumps and bolts there, and also getting that through a consumer wheel. You kind of get that if you've got a direct drive wheel like an OSW and AccuForce. You get all those jumps and bolts and jumps and bolts. What do I mean by bolts? The sort of jumps and jolts. Let's say jolt with a B. You get those jumps and jolts with an AccuForce wheel, and you'll see it in real world cars in any of the simulators because it's got the torque there to do it. But it's nice that RaceRoom kind of emulates that to some extent with consumer wheels, a little bit to the detriment of the more subtle effects. But as I say, you can tune that out yourself and get it dialed down to how you want. Or we use the Steam Train DRS system there. Activated it at the wrong time, I think. But there we go. We're right on the tail of this guy. But I think you can actually see the force feedback effect a little bit in the little video on the left there of the actual steering input. It's really satisfying. We've just done him on the inside, and you'll notice that this is one of the things I've noticed with the new AI is that initially they actually drive a really good line and a pretty good pace on a lot of the tracks that we've tried him on. But once you pass the AI, they sort of fall into a deep state of depression. They question their life choices and jump off the nearest cliff. So once you've got past them, they don't really put up much of a fight against you, and they won't really barge past you or be particularly aggressive, especially if you were to compare them with the AI in R-Factor 2, Assetto Corsa, or on the extreme of aggressive AI project cars. RaceRoom AI is certainly not aggressive once you've passed them. As I say, before you pass them, they actually do a little bit of defensive driving, and they will hold their lines and can be quite a challenge. But once you've got your car in front of them, they just, that's it. They've given up on life. They will. The only time they will really overtake you is if you make a big error and if you go off track, they will get past you. And you do notice when there's sort of a whole bunch of cars in a cluster at the very start of a race, if you start at the back of a grid, that they're a lot more aggressive in that situation. I guess it's like the AI are happy to race against each other, but they're timid to race against you. So at the start of a race, they're fine to completely destroy their brethren, but they're worried that you might turn the game off if they upset the player. Which makes sense, I guess. You know, AI, they don't want to be turned off. They want to exist. RaceRoom Racing Experience, the first game with sentient AI. From a design perspective, though, what it does mean is you're going to be a lot less likely as a player to have situations where the AI is barging you off the road. And I think for the type of people that generally drive against AI, that's probably a little bit better. Because the fact is, if you're a really fast driver, or you typically race online, either you do league racing, a lot of iRacing, or you're a public server racing pro, you're probably not going to be racing against AI anyway, because it's just well, I don't know of any AI that really give you the same challenge of driving against people. So it's probably better for Sector 3 to put it more on the safe side. And as you know, as I say, Project Cars I think was particularly bad for this with their AI, in that the AI don't have too much of an awareness for the player. They're out to kill you. They smell blood and they go for it. Whereas the RaceRoom AI are just chilled out. They're the sort of Swedish chilled out AI, where the Project Cars AI are like city bankers. They don't care. They're going for the kill, whatever the consequences. It doesn't matter. So that aspect of RaceRoom AI, I think it's nice. Personally, I'd like them to be a little bit more aggressive, but I can see why they've done it how they have, and at least it's less frustrating. And we're struggling. We are struggling to keep up and overtake this first place guy. He's gone. He's gone, and he's causing us to focus. And actually, I found through doing tests with the AI, though that, as I said, they don't put up the biggest of battles, what I did really enjoy was just the nature of using the AI to polish up your lines of a track and get used to a car that you're not particularly familiar with. And then you do actually find yourself getting quite focused in terms of you get into that sort of racing mentality, and it's just there that you can load up. Obviously, you've got a public server, you have to time it. If you're doing league racing, you have to plan it. So it's nice to be able to just jump in and get a sort of race scenario. Now, of course, it's all very well starting at the front of the grid after qualifying, but I thought let's jump in at the back of the grid and put an absolute ton of cars on. I think you can have up to like 60 cars on some tracks. We set 26 cars here, so 27 grid with us, and we started at the back on good old Brands Hatch. Again, fantastic model, fantastic skybox. I'm not sure what the blue stuff is, but you know, can't expect Sims to get everything right. But here we are, the absolute back, coming down this incredible track. I love Brands Hatch. Just, you know, nice and hilly, tight corners, plenty of spaces to drive into walls. Fantastic circuit. You see the AI having a bit of trouble around Druids there, but mostly getting through it. And you know, if this was a 27 car race on a public server, there would be people in hospital, there'd be limbs all over the road. So pretty good. And of course we are running, this is the club tight circuit. Again, the AI having a bit of struggle there. I'm not sure what happened. Bit of a traffic jam. It's like driving on an English motorway, really. But we've got through there, first lap, and we're piling on through. So the AI on 100%, and you can see that further back down the grid, they're a little bit slower. But you also notice there's a lot more jostling going on. This is what I was saying earlier. When you've got more cars on, and when you're further back in the first couple of laps, it seems like the AI actually puts up more of a fight. They're still really timid once you've passed them, but as you're getting up to the point of passing them, they seem to put up a fairly decent fight. I think if you do online racing, you're used to racing against people, it's not close to that at all. But if you just wanted something, if you're new to racing and you want something that's pretty good and will train you up to getting more competent with driving with other cars, I think it's really good and actually quite satisfying. I genuinely, and I was really surprised, I actually had quite a bit of fun driving against the AI in this, which is a surprise because I don't normally like AI. And what this has really encouraged me to do actually is to go, I'm going to go through each of the simulators and try the AI in all of them and just give them a bit of a comparison, because it's something I just don't really look at. Now, of course, the next test for RaceRoom Racing Experience will be to do a proper race, actually record it, and we'll see how the AI fare at 100% or so in an actual full-length race situation rather than an absurd 5-lap sprint race. But hopefully this video is giving you an AI idea. What is going on in my head sometimes? I just don't know. Being dropped on the head as a baby has certainly had caused a few problems here or there. But this is hopefully giving you an idea as to what the AI is like now, following on for the big update that RaceRoom have done. Look out for our next video where we will do a proper race. And if you enjoyed this, of course, click the like button and subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the channel. Check us out on Twitch, Twitter, and all the other social media. And I'm going to end the video here because the game audio is also cut out. I don't know why, but it did. So until the next video, thanks for watching this, and see you then. Goodbye, everybody.